keeping it even. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey there, fabulous dancer, and welcome to this top 10 moves every belly dancer must know video series. In today's video, I'm so excited. I'm going to be showing you probably one of the most popular, one of the most coveted, and sometimes one of the most challenging, but total must-have belly dance moves, and that is the Egyptian shimmy. So tie on your hip scarf real tight, and let's get to it. My name is Sahira, and I'm here to teach you the beautiful art of belly dance. If you are looking to find health, joy, creativity, and expressivity through the beautiful art of belly dance, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that I can send you fantastic free belly dance content every single week. Now let's get started. Let me start this tutorial by telling you that this move was probably one of the most challenging moves for me as a beginner belly dancer. And actually, it was a pretty challenging move for me as an intermediate level belly dancer as well. This move, this shimmy, for some bizarre reason, took me about 12 years to get comfortable with. So I'm going to show it to you today, but I want to set an expectation that this is one that might not be learned in one 10-minute video. This is one that takes months and months of practice to really get comfortable in the body. So if this is the first time that you've ever seen the Egyptian shimmy, welcome to the party. We are going to have some fun. Give yourself time and repetition to really dive into this delicious movement, because once you have it, let me tell you, it's a total showstopper. It can be layered on just about anything, and you'll get endless mileage out of it. It is so much fun. So let's do it. The concept behind this shimmy is very easy, and there's honestly not a lot of technique I need to break down for you, but subtlety and nuance we can talk about forever. Here is the basic idea. I would like you to come from your basic belly dance posture, right? So feet are about hip distance width apart, pelvis is long, chest is lifted, knees are slightly soft. And I'm going to invite you to bend your knee a little bit more, and then I'm going to invite you to start bending and straightening your knees, kind of like you're walking, but not quite. A little bit like you're walking, but your feet are glued to the floor. As you bend and straighten the knees, a couple things I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on the back side. Typically when we bend our knees, we kind of focus on the front, and then it becomes a little bit more like a merengue, right? So we're not focusing on the front. I want you to focus on the back. So I want you to imagine that your leg is coming to straight, and it basically is. It's coming to straight. At no point in time are we going to pull up on the kneecap and lock the knee straight, but you are going to come to straight. I want you to imagine that there's like a little trampoline or something behind your knee, and your knee is just bouncing off that trampoline, boing, 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 every time you go to the back. I'm going to have you play with where your weight is in your feet. My weight tends to like to be pretty centered, but you could try bringing it forward, try bringing it back. Let me also tell you that as you do this bend and straighten, your hips are not going to do a big up and down. So I don't want you to try to do this. This is different. This is involving your obliques, and this is also focusing more on the knee bending deeply and bending forward. Instead, I want you to think bounce, 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 like you're bouncing your knee off that imaginary trampoline that's set up vertically, like facing the mirror, right behind you, right? I also want you to focus on keeping it slow and soft and easy. Well, as easy as possible, right? I don't want you to work too hard. I want you to think about keeping it even. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The biggest challenge when we start to bring it to speed is unevenness between the legs, because one leg is stronger than the other, which is totally natural and totally fine, but it's going to be the thing that drives you crazy, and it's going to be what makes this shimmy potentially stutter if you start to have problems with it. But for now, we're just thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, bouncing that knee off of the trampoline behind. So now as you do this, you might find your whole body kind of bounces a little bit, right? You bounce in the hips, you bounce in the chest, you bounce in the shoulders, and you're like, what kind of shimmy is this? Okay, we're not there yet, right? But this is where we're getting started. So now I invite you to take it a little bit faster, right? It's not maybe quite as deep of a knee bend. I'm going to show you here from the side as well so you can see. Not quite as deep of a knee bend. You're still standing up straight. You still have your nice, long, strong posture. Chest is lifted. Shoulders are over the hips. Hips are over the heels, plus or minus. I invite you, you can play with shifting your weight a little bit towards the toes, shifting your weight a little bit towards the heels. You might find a spot where it just works more easily for you to begin with, and that's awesome. Take it. Eventually, you want to be able to do it no matter where your weight is, but take whatever works best, easiest first, right? So we're doing this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I want you to relax as much as possible. Relax the belly. Relax the hips. I even want you to try to relax your thighs. Obviously, your knees are working, the muscles around your knees are working. I also tend to feel this in my ankles, right? My ankles are kind of stabilizing me, but try to relax the toes. Don't scrunch the toes on the ground. Don't grab on. So try to relax those feet, relax the toes. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Relax your face. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you'd like to try a little bit faster, or if you'd like to try really relaxing those thighs, as you start to relax the thighs and really rely on the skeletal structure, right? Your knees going, the thighs can start to kind of jiggle and wiggle, which gives you better shimmy, right? Relax the belly, you get a little jiggle in the belly, relax the upper body, it's all gonna wiggle. It's all gonna jiggle, and it's okay, right? I'm gonna turn back this way so you can see me from this direction, and we're literally just thinking back, 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 right? The legs are going back, 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 back. My knees come to straight. My knees and toes are always in alignment. The bend in my knee is minimal, right? I'm not aiming to have a hip shimmy. This is a different shimmy for a different video, right? I have a different video for the hip shimmy. I'm not doing a hip shimmy. I'm doing the Egyptian shimmy, which is a lot more vibration-like and a more jiggly, less hippalicious, if that makes sense. A little less hips, right? So if you'd like, now take it, slow it down again. Back, 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 back. Breathe, bouncy, 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 bouncy. And know that it took me 12 years to feel comfortable with this. I have every confidence that it's going to be way faster for you than that. This was my kryptonite, this move. But finally, I've got it. I've got it. Took me a while. Yeah. And that's okay, right? That's why it's a practice. This is fun, right? We are learning. We are growing. This is the whole point. If it was all easy, I tell you, it probably wouldn't be as fun. I promise. So taking it a little faster now. You can play with how wide your feet are. Like for this feels a little wide for me. I'm going to bring my feet in a little bit more, right? Back, 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 back. Relax the belly. Relax the hips. Relax the thighs as much as possible. Like if I get going really big with my shimmy and I really relax, like literally my thighs are just like, blum, 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 blum. This is what you want, right? The TMI? I don't know. Blum, 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 blum. You want the thighs to just super duper relax, right? So like if I were wearing a skirt, you'd probably hear them smack together, right? Because you want them to be that relaxed. Relax, and the more the more belly you got, the more thigh you got, the more hip you got, the more beautiful this shimmy will be. So just own it, yeah? Go back to slow, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and relax. That's all there is to it, right? The breakdown is pretty minimalist, but the technique itself is challenging. So as you begin to practice this, and we're going to do it with music in just a moment, we're going to alternate between slow and fast, right? Because I don't want you to always try to go fast, especially if it's not working. Going fast all the time, if it's not working, is like ramming your head into a brick wall. No fun, right? We'll go fast, we'll go slow. We'll go fast, we'll go slow. And we'll also play with being off tempo. Typically, shimmies are sort of rhythmic to the music, so like 16th notes. So if you've got your music clunking along, your shimmy is ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. We'll play with that, but in an effort to slowly ramp you up to speed, don't worry about matching your shimmy with the music. I'm going to encourage you to start half time, and then we can try full time, and then we'll slowly ramp it up, which means that if you've got a really nice internal metronome, you might feel it doesn't really fit on the music. That's okay. What I want you to do is push the shimmy until it gets to a point where it stops working. We'll take a break. We'll slow it back down a little bit and continue to push the speed of the shimmy faster, always with the goal of making it easy, right? And it's not easy, making it easeful. I don't want you to work too hard, right? It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be huge. You can layer that on if you'd like. And I want you to err on the side of slow. Slower is going to get you there better than faster. And then pay attention to evenness of the knees and relaxation of the body. That's probably enough stuff to think about, yeah? So let's go ahead and try it with music. All right, let's take a deep breath. Find your posture, relax the body, bend the knees, and let's get ready to shimmy. You got this? 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's start 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Half time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Relax. Relax your arms. Relax everything. Relax the shoulders. I'm like literally just bouncing. Like you're running in place. Feet are stuck to the floor. You're going nowhere. And you're thinking back, 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 right? We're not thinking forward, forward, forward. Back, 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 back. That's going to make all the difference. The forward's going to give you a different feel, and it's not going to speed up the same way. So think about that little trampoline behind you. Back, 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 back. never pulling up on the kneecap, never fully locking or straightening the leg. Make sure you've got weight fully on your feet, but feel free to play with the weight, see what happens. All right, so full time is here. We'll play with this for just a second. Then we're gonna ramp it back down, because usually going from halftime to full time, that's a very big jump. But I want you to see where we're headed. Yeah, back to halftime. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So once you're feeling really relaxed here, this is a nice slow tempo. Think about that weight staying centered. Like I'm not shifting my weight side to side in my body. I'm keeping that center line in my body, the center of my weight, but the hips are going up and down. You're going to feel your weight shifting because of the way the knees bend, but don't actually think about moving yourself side to side. And now take it a little bit faster, just a little bit faster, at your own tempo. What I'd like to invite you to do is make it a little bit faster every like 20 seconds or so until it breaks. And then you're like, okay, there's my breaking point. I'm going to take it a little bit slower and then ramp it up again. We're going to slowly increase the speed that way. And so if you want to try a little bit faster, see what happens, take a deep breath. Are you remaining relaxed, right? Keep it as relaxed as possible. It doesn't have to be big, but if you want to make it bigger, you can think about bending the knees a little bit more, but your accent is still back. Back, not forward, right? So even if you make it bigger with the knees, keep that accent going back. If you want to make it a little faster but still feeling good, feel free. Or take it back to halftime and get comfortable with that. Yeah, if I go back to halftime, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice deep breath. You can play with taking your stance a little bit wider if you want. See what happens. Right, as long as it's hip distance or closer, you're good to go. Right, I'm going to bring my stance back in. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. Maybe bend my knees a little bit more to make it juicier. But it's not going to become a hip shimmy, right? You're not going to stay in a plie. Be careful for this, different shimmies, right? If I stay in the plie and my knees are constantly bent, I want you to for sure come to straight. That's where that jiggle comes in and makes it more of an Egyptian shimmy. All right, so now I'm going to speed it up. Let's go for our last few moments here. Take a deep breath. Roll those shoulders back and down. Relax. Yeah, you got it. Let's count it down. We'll do 4 more counts. 4, 3, 2, 1, and strike your pose. Oh my goodness, Shimmy Star. How did that go? Okay, if this is the first time you've ever attempted that shimmy, bravo, no matter what happened. That's a tough one. I find that one to be really challenging. That one gave me fits for, like I said, 12 years, literally 12 years. When I finally got it, there were a couple of things that really helped me, some of which might be useful to you and some of which might not be useful to you. Number one, I practiced slow. I found that the only time I was happy with my shimmies was when the music was slow. So I leaned into that and really did slow for quite some time. Yeah, the other thing is I relaxed the kneecaps to make sure that the knees weren't pulling up and weren't tensing the move. And then the other thing that I don't necessarily recommend doing this in order to get better shimmies, but if it's something in your plans anyway, perhaps it will help for you. After giving birth to my daughter, my shimmies got a lot better. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because I had a little bit more like hip going on or if because all of my ligaments had loosened up during pregnancy. Anyway, TMI, but it definitely helped my shimmy, which was fantastic. So that was a nice side effect. As you're practicing your shimmy, if you have any questions, post below, let me know. I would love to know how your practice is going. Just know that this is a slow and steady wins the race kind of thing. So you want to be the tortoise and not the hare. Practice it a little bit, every time you get a chance to practice it slowly, have lots of patience, relax and have fun because the journey is the entire point. And all the learning is an adventure. Thank you so much for sharing the dance floor with me here, and I look forward to dancing with you again very soon.